Here's what I will say is deeper. I don't question her faith, but I question her authenticity. And I think that's deeper here. We were just talking about the trans issue. This is a symptom of a deeper cancer in American life, identity politics. I've preached this to the left, but it's even worse when Republicans try to play the same game. We're talking about that trans issue. And Nikki Haley's campaign launch video sounded like a woke Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light ad talking about how she would kick in heels. At the first debate, she said that only a woman can get this job done. That's what she said. After the third debate, when I criticized Ronna McDaniel after 5 failed years of leadership of this party and criticized Nikki for her corrupt foreign dealings as a military contractor, she said that I have a woman problem. Nikki, I don't have a woman problem. You have a corruption problem. And I think that that's what people need to know. Nikki is corrupt. This is a woman who will send your kids to die so she can buy a bigger house. This is the problem. Using identity politics more effectively than Kamala Harris is a form of intellectual fraud. And it actually needs to end. There's our donor puppet masters wielding their puppet right up here tonight. This is how this game is played. The puppet masters put up their puppet, and I reject the use of identity politics in this party. It has been a cancer coming from the left, and I'm sick and tired of the double standards. The people of this country are too. Having 2 X chromosomes does not immunize you from criticism.
Thank you, sir.
All right, folks, the day has come, and it is a day for celebration. Frankly, many of us thought we would never see it because the last couple of weeks, I've gone beyond the point of even being able to understand what neocon Nimrod Nikki Haley is doing here. But apparently, finally, this morning, after what was a historically bad performance for any major candidate on a Super Tuesday, Nikki Haley has dropped out of the presidential race. She has given up the delusion. Frankly, while I am celebrating because Nikki Haley is absolute neocon trash, on the other hand, we were kind of enjoying watching her get destroyed in every single election. And frankly, I was hoping that she'd make it all the way to the convention and just keep losing and losing. But she did a press conference this morning announcing that she would drop out. And I knew something was up last night when she did not have any events planned for Super Tuesday, because that is her response to every single election for the most part, besides Michigan, which is she would go out and say she won. And honestly, I was fully expecting this morning to do a video talking about how Nikki Haley is claiming that because she won Vermont and lost every single other state, including California, where she lost San Francisco County, maybe we'll talk a little bit about that after we watch the speech here, that she would go out and say, we won a state. The Nikki Mentum continues, because that's what she said after DC, and that's actually what her press team said last night, which is, we won Vermont. Okay, this is proof that so many Republicans are rebelling against Donald Trump, even though at this point it's basically just Joe Biden voters who are voting for Nikki Haley. And I think you had the proof of that when California, which, if I'm not mistaken, has a closed Republican primary, even places like San Francisco, where you'd expect the Republicans there to be milquetoast, the most liberal leaning because it's San Francisco. No, even the Republicans there voted for Donald Trump, which goes to show you that she has no Republican support. But anyways, okay, that's beyond the point. Let's tune in here, folks, and listen to the full speech, which is only 4 minutes. Okay, it's 4 minutes. I don't even think she had the guts to do it in front of her supporters, announcing that she is dropping out of the presidential race. All right, get your champagne, get your cigars. Let's watch this.
When I began, I said the campaign was grounded in my love for our country. Just last week, my mother, a first-generation immigrant, got to vote for her daughter for president. Only in America. I am filled with the gratitude for the outpouring of support we've received from all across our great country. But the time has now come to suspend my campaign. I said I wanted Americans to have their voices heard. I have done that. I have no regrets. And although I will no longer be a candidate, I will not stop using my voice for the things I believe in. Our national debt will eventually crush our economy. A smaller federal government is not only necessary for our freedom, it is necessary for our survival.
she's the same person who wants the federal government to have a database of everyone on social media using their ID, by the way. So yeah, small government Nikki, who wants to expand the surveillance state even more than Joe Biden has. Okay.
The road to socialism is the road to ruin for America. Our Congress is dysfunctional and only getting worse. It is filled with followers, not leaders. Term limits for Washington politicians are needed now more than ever. Our world is on fire because of America's retreat. Standing by our allies in Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan is a moral imperative. But it's also more than that. If we retreat further, there will be more war, not less. As important, while we stand strong for the cause of freedom, we must bind together as Americans. We must turn away from the darkness of hatred and division. I will continue to promote all those values, as is the right of every American. I sought the honor of being your president. But in our
Nikki Haley loves freedom so much that she just wants to dox everyone who criticizes her on social media. Okay.
Our great country, being a private citizen, is privilege enough in itself. And that's a privilege I very much look forward to enjoying. In all likelihood, Donald Trump will be the Republican nominee when our party convention meets in July. I congratulate him and wish
I could have
him
told
well.
you that.
I wish anyone well who would be America's president. Our country is too precious to let our differences divide us. I have always been a conservative Republican and always supported the Republican nominee. But on this question, as she did on so many others, Margaret Thatcher provided some good advice when she said, quote, "Never just follow the crowd. Always make up your own mind." It is now up to Donald Trump to earn the votes of those in our party and beyond it who did not support him. And I hope he does that. At its best, politics is about bringing people into your cause, not turning them away. And our conservative cause badly needs more people. This is now his time for choosing. I end my campaign with the same words I began it, from the book of Joshua. I direct them to all Americans, but especially to so many of the women and girls out there who put their faith in our campaign. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for God will be with you wherever you go. In this campaign, I have seen our country's greatness. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, America. God bless you.
Okay. So that was actually 3 minutes and 46 seconds. That is all that she had to say. You know what I find kind of hilarious and ironic about it all, although very fitting for Nikki Haley, is she talks about how she ends her campaign. Well, much like her entire campaign and political career itself, she ended by lying / gaslighting / flip-flopping more than anything else. Because if you'll remember, right before the South Carolina primary, she gave that whole state of the race speech where she said she's not going anywhere, and she implied that she would ride it all the way to the convention, right? Because what did she say? She said, "We are not stopping until every single vote is cast." Remember, she said that almost verbatim. That is what she said, and yet not every single vote has been. I mean, look, obviously, I get why she's dropping out, but I just want to point this out, right? Not every vote has been cast. Donald Trump, even though it's presumed, obviously, has not officially gained the GOP nomination yet. And so she actually has broken yet another promise, right? So I just find that to be kind of funny about it all. Nikki, what happened to every single vote being cast? Huh? What happened to that? Anyways, so there's Nikki Haley dropping out. You notice that she did not immediately endorse Trump, but she appeared to kind of leave the door open. At least from the way she was talking there, it doesn't sound like she's going to be pursuing any type of third party run or challenge, which I think is still a possibility there. But she was sort of implying, she's not going to endorse Trump, but I'm going to, leave the door open on that regard. My prediction for a long time on this has been that Nikki Haley will eventually endorse Trump, not because of any authentic conservative principle, but just simply for the opportunity, right? I've said this before, she is nothing like Chris Christie. They may share the same politics, but Chris Christie is principled in his hatred of Donald Trump. Nikki Haley is an opportunist, so she will try to weasel her way back into Republican circles by any means necessary. But with that said, you never know, okay? Because at this point, for the past couple of months now, frankly, I've never been able to know or predict, and nobody has, what Nikki Haley's going to do because her behavior is totally erratic and unpredictable. So who knows? Maybe if someone on the Democrat side, hint, hint, I don't know, Soros or whatever, puts up enough money for her to try some type of third-party run, I could see her doing that. I don't think it's the most likely, but I'd say it is certainly a possibility there. But, there you have it, folks. I will say about this, okay, she does not get the same class from me that Ron DeSantis got when he dropped out. She just doesn't, okay? Because in the case of Ron DeSantis, I always said, okay, I still like the guy as a governor. I think he's done a lot good for the state of Florida, as well as good for the country in the sense that he has led this sort of statewide movement of using state power to basically exact a conservative principle, right? But, and I've said about Ron's campaign itself, it's like, I think he just is in an awkward position politically. I don't super hold it against him. I still think he has a lot to offer the conservative movement going into the future. That is not the case in the study here of Nikki Haley, okay? Nikki Haley always has represented everything that is wrong with the conservative movement, right? We do not have room in this party for people with the politics of 2003, for people who think that foreign interests go above American interests, for people who, want to expand the national security state, which already is being weaponized against American patriots, even more so than the Democrats already have. And inevitably that will be weaponized against, conservatives going into the future. We do not need people like that in this party. Okay. So I'm not going to give the whole classy speech here of, oh, well, Nikki, we're all Republicans at the end of the day. No. Okay. She will not get any type of favoritism from me now just because, she dropped out of the race, because it was never about that for me. Okay. It was never about, she's just an opponent of Donald Trump. No. She, again, represents all of the flaws that the conservative movement has had for so many decades. And I'm not going to go over all of them today. I think we've well established that, but maybe I'll do a video this week or something reliving all of the worst moments of the Nikki Haley campaign there. But, here's what I would say is I do hope she endorses Donald Trump simply because, hey, someone out there takes her opinion seriously, unfortunately, right? And if you're Donald Trump, you want all the endorsements you can get. If any of your former opponents are endorsing you, it's a good thing. I would encourage Trump to accept that endorsement. However, beyond that point, no, Nikki, I do not want to see her anywhere near the Republican Party ever again. Okay? I don't want to see her get a cabinet position or run for any type of office or do anything. She needs to be essentially expelled. Okay? She, despite her, little gaslighting act here, has never had class, and the response should not be a classy response, is what I would say. So bye-bye, okay? It was never fun. I personally never liked you. I know some people did back during the Trump days. I always saw through her crap here, okay? And it is what it is. She's done. She is out. And it couldn't come soon enough. Although, again, I will reiterate, I was kind of enjoying watching her delusionally fail every single time. But I guess she is going to count her losses, get out of the game while she still can without getting embarrassed even more, if that is even possible. But yeah, goodbye, Nimrata. Goodbye. With that said, folks, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Are you surprised by this move? Are you surprised that she didn't tout the Vermont victory and say, look, we won Vermont and DC. We are the true representations of conservatism, right? And we're going to take this all the way. I don't know. And also, what do you think Nikki Haley's going to do next? Do you think that she's going to try to, come back and challenge third party? You think she's going to endorse Trump and try to get back into power? Do you think she's just going to go into the private sector and be a lobbyist? Heck, do you think she's going to take a job at CNN? I think all of those things are possible. We don't know at the current moment, but let me know. All right, with that said, folks, be sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And until next time, Alpha Moves only. God bless. Have a very great rest of your day, and peace.